celebrate your beauty and your mystery. It's more than any eye can see. I'm not the man I was before. With you my life is so much more. Break the chains and open doors to the world I can't ignore. God, let me shine, shine like the moon. A reflection of you is all that I do. God, let me be a light for your truth, light of the world. I want to be used to shine for you. As simple as a passing smile, or listening a little while to someone that's convinced that they are in this all alone. Here's my chance to share the news, to introduce the good that's you. Here you go again, you never seem to blow my mind. God, let me shine, shine like the moon. A reflection of you is all that I do. God, let me be a light for your truth, light of the world. I want to be used to shine for you. You're the light that all we need. You lift us to our feet. You hold us key to everything. The Holy One alive in me. Love, let me shine, shine like the moon. A reflection of you is all that I do. God, let me be a light for your truth, a light of the world. I want to be used to shine for you. God, let me shine, shine like the moon. A reflection of you is all that I do. God, let me be a light for your truth, a light of the world. I want to be used to shine for you, to shine for you, to shine for you.
All right, now's the time. It's very exciting. Deb Hocombe has been a member of our church for a long, long time, and she actually found the energy center for our labyrinth space. I don't know how many of you noticed that we've got the, it looks like a big wagon wheel out there, and in the very center is our energy center, and Deb found that for us by using this process. And so that, tonight she's going to show us how to do it, explain it to us, and she's even got a surprise for us. It got hangers. Did everybody get hangers?
No.
Awesome. No, I heard a no. But that's all right. We'll figure it out. But Deb, let's give her a big hand.
Hello? How are you guys doing tonight?
Yes.
Good, good. It's good to see you guys here. I'm very excited about this experience. I've never talked to men and women at the same time. To give you a little bit of background about me, I'm a AT&T corporate instructor. I teach technicians how to install UVerse, DirecTV, and Internet. And that's kind of how I got my started with Dowsing. About 25 years ago, I was working with a cable maintenance technician in Las Vegas, Nevada, and we were looking for a telephone cable. And I had this $5,000 piece of equipment, and I'm out there with my wand and my transmitter, and I'm looking for it, and we couldn't find it. So one of the maintenance guys came out, and he goes, "Oh, Deb, let me show you how to do this." So he got two copper rods. They're not like this. We use grounding copper just strips of copper at work, and we can cut them any length we want. So he cut off 2 pieces of copper, bent the handles, and started walking across the property, and boom, he found the cable. And I was just like, wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
So I started locating telephone cable. And then I started my own business out there called Underground Facility Locators. And I located on-site utilities for customers that own their own property. Like they had a swimming pool, the cabana in the back, and they had, you know, does anybody know what a telephone is?
You mean a landline?
Landline. Okay, so I would go and locate the telephone lines with dowsing rods and a piece of equipment that I bought. So the dowsing rods became a secondary tool. Well, about 4 or 5 years ago, Diana Schultz, anybody here know Diana Schultz? She's a member of the church. She owns Green and Healthy Homes. And she had a customer whose son was sick all the time. And she took her son to this holistic doctor, and the holistic doctor said, you need to find somebody that can douse for ley lines or geopathic stress. Well, I had already doused this area out here. A few years ago, we were going to do something else with it. So Diana was part of the board at that time and asked me if I would come douse that area. Not for the Divine Center, but just douse the area. So I came to church, doused the area for the church, so she knew that I knew how to douse. So she calls me up, she goes, Deb, can you find geopathic stress or ley lines? I thought, what the heck is that? So I got on the internet, Google is your friend. Got on the internet and I Googled geopathic stress and ley lines. Ley lines, anybody know what ley lines are? Anybody? Oh, a couple of people. Would you like to share?
They're energy lines that run around the globe.
That run around the globe. And what are some of the things that have been built on those energy lines? Do you know?
Stonehenge.
Stonehenge, anything else?
Pyramids.
Pyramids?
Machu Picchu, what else?
Pyramids, probably.
I'm sorry?
Pyramids?
The pyramids? A lot of things that are not of today's environment, right? So that was the ley lines. Then I Googled geopathic stress, and geopathic stress is energy, negative energy that is that bubbles up from the earth, and it's caused by several different things. It can be where somebody has thrown stuff in the ground and it deteriorated and caused this negative energy to bubble up. And it's an interesting concept, but it's negative energy. And it causes some people to get sick. And that's what was happening to this little boy, this little 4-year-old boy. So I said, okay, I'll come over there, I'll take a look at it. I said, you know, there's no guarantee. I don't know what I'm looking for, but, you know, I'll give it a shot. So I went over to their house. They lived in an apartment. And I got my dowsing rods out and went into the bedroom. And right in between the master bed and the baby bed was a path about 1.5 feet wide that went from wall, went around the bed, and out under the window. And I did my dowsing rods. I also did my pendulum, which I'll talk about a little bit about later, but and found that path. And then they asked me if I could clear it. And I thought, okay, how do I clear it? Let me go in. So anytime I do this, I go inward and connect with source. Everybody know what source is? Okay, and I ask for protection, okay, for the highest good. So I go inward, find the path, and then I clear it with a prayer. So I cleared this energy, and that woman stalked me for 2 years. I had to block her on Facebook. It was so funny. But it wasn't, it was more about the child being healed from that negative energy. It was affecting his life. And he got better. So, and I can tell story after story after story about things that I've done over the last 4 or 5 years with geopathic stress and ley lines. But you have to understand that everything is energy. Everything. It vibrates at different frequencies. So, and what are we?
Energy.
Energy, our brain and our heart, right? So when we have something that's out of sync with our bodies, it can cause dis-ease in the body. So I'm not negating doctors or any type of health professional at all, but it's just another tool that I can use to help people. And that's my passion, that's where my heart is to help people. So I've done a lot of energy clearing houses. I've gone into people's houses. There was a woman's house that I did in Mount Dora as a housewarming present. I went into their house and doused their house, and they had a cat. And this cat was the most unfriendly cat you could imagine. And you'd go to pet it, and they'd go, and I go, so I asked the owner, I said, can I douse the cat? And they said, sure. So I doused the cat, and rods crossed, and I went, can I clear the energy? Can I work with the cat's energy? And they said, sure. So I worked with the cat's energy. It took me like 3 minutes, and I did my prayer, connected to source, did what I was supposed to do. 2 days later, that cat jumped into the owner's lap and was purring, and she was able to pet the cat. So that was like, wow, how cool a testament is that? It was very, very exciting for me. So it's not just me. Everybody can do this, okay? So that's what the coat hangers are for. I used to tell, when I first learned back in Las Vegas how to douse, I would tell my friends, oh, let me show you this cool thing. And I'd go get the coat hangers and I'd cut them down into the little L shape. And I'd say, watch this. And I'd say, think of something negative. And they'd think of something negative and they would cross. Okay, think of something positive. Think of something positive, they'd open up. So I'm going to demonstrate that to you guys here in a few minutes. I've upgraded to some professional dowsing rods for a couple of reasons. The coat hangers work, and remember everything is energy, right? So when I'm holding on to the coat hangers and doing it, my energy is infusing on these coat hangers, right? Mm-hmm. So I want to use something, and people will say that, they'll go, oh, you're doing that, Deb. And I'm going, no, I'm not, they're just sitting in my hand. So then I would get Coke bottles. Remember when we used to have glass Coke bottles? Yeah. Am I dating myself?
And be along with you, thank you.
Yeah, right. So I would get Coke bottles and put the hanger in the Coke bottle and hold the Coke bottle, and they would move on their own. So it's a very cool tool to use for dowsing. Now this is before my time. Okay, I'm not. I'll be honest, I'll be 63 in September. I'm quite proud of that. Okay, this is what they used to use back in the day.
Divining rod.
Witching sticks is what they were, divining rod, witching stick. And you would hold it like this, or they would hold it like this, and they would walk the fields looking for water. And when they got to the water, wherever they were going to dig the well, it would point down. And you couldn't stop it, it would point down. I like my copper rods a little bit better than this. I was out in the front yard. You should have seen me out in the front yard this morning. No, but I got my dowsing rods and they worked. And I'm going, okay, maybe it's my energy going through the wood that says, where's my copper rods? Right? So, I'd like to have a volunteer. Come on up, you're the closest. Do I know you?
No. Somebody did this on video for Facebook.
Okay. So, want you over there because I'm gonna walk on it. I don't want the rods to cross this line. The rods are remember, you have to set the intention. When I did the dowsing out to find divine center, I set the intention first. Okay, I went inward and asked divine for divine guidance, and that's how I found it. So we're protected, divinely protected and guarded by the Holy Spirit, right? Amen. That's right. So, and what I did, the copper rods are in copper cylinders, so my hands do not touch the rods. And all I do is I'm just going to stand here, and her energy, everybody know what aura is?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, the aura radiates out to about the tip of her hand. There are some people that have a lot more energy than that, and it goes out beyond the tip of her hands, right? Okay. Have you ever had somebody walk into the room and change the energy of the room?
Yes.
Okay, positive or negative. Well, this can pick up on that. So what I want you to do, actually I'm going to tell you just to think of something. We're not going to ask her if it's, actually I want you to just think of something positive. Okay? All right. All right, see how they open up? Okay, now think of something negative. Okay, now think of something and don't tell us. So it's something positive. So, so that's the divine rods. They're dowsing rods, and they're just really cool objects to help us. We can find water with them. We can find divine center. We can find electrical. We can find telephone cables. We can find.
It can still be true.
It can be, and I do love. I do.
Deb, I never saw you blush before.
I didn't tell you guys I did stand-up comedy too, so this is right down my alley. I love it. So what I did is I brought some coat hangers, and that's how I got my start. And these are the two little short hangers, and I've got, I don't know if I should let you guys use tools or not. You don't have safety glasses on.
We won't tell the instructor union.
So what we're going to do is I'm going to have, in a few minutes, we're going to have you guys make a dowsing rod so you can take these home and you can practice yourself. CC, they won't work that way.
I know.
But I took two of the shorter ones, and it doesn't matter which type of hanger. It doesn't matter if they've got paint on them. It doesn't matter if they're solid metal. These are not, I don't think these are copper, but they work. Okay, that's how I got my start. I'm sorry?
I got my start that same way.
Now they're going to think this is rigged. Okay, so if you make these with the hangers, all you're going to do once you're going to make a little L shape, and the L doesn't matter how long, as long as you can hold it in your hand. Okay, and all I do is put it about 3 fingers wide. Just hold it like this. Would you like to come up and be the love of my life? As he backs up. I'm sorry? No. I told him he should have a sex change. I'd marry him. He said it'd be easier for me to change. Everybody knows our secret. All right. So, So he's that positive. All right, so I want you to think of something positive. Okay, so see, they're moving, they're still moving. And all I've got, they're just cupped in my hands. Okay, think of something negative.
Wow.
That was intense. All right, now think of something, don't tell us. Woo! That was really positive. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter if you use coat hangers or if you use, you can buy the dowsing rods. Does everybody know what Casadega is? Okay, Casadega sells them, they're about 20 bucks for the dowsing rods. And like I said, you can set the intention first and connect with source. That's the primary thing. Once you connect with source, you want to ask for permission and to be divinely protected and guarded by the Holy Spirit, or whatever your protection is, and then set the intention for what you want to do. Does anybody have any questions? Or what questions do you have? Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, sometimes people can pick up entities, I don't know a lot about them, but, you can pick them up if they're in a bar or something like that. You said that the value rods can clear. Is that something that you could clear, like the entities, if people have entities, is that something that could be cleared?
Yes.
That's very interesting.
Yes, and I have had people that have had, okay, let me just say this too. When you guys, anybody ever bought antique furniture and not known where it comes from? Okay. Or silverware or glasses, been given something as a gift. There's a member of the church, I went over to their house a couple of months ago, and they said, Deb, will you douse my house? And I said, sure. So, and I go and I douse everything in the house. The cabinets, I don't open your cabinets, I just do the dousing in front of the cabinets. And I went over to a bookshelf, and there was an item on the bookshelf that was a gift from an aunt of hers, and she said, that was a mean aunt. She was very negative about everything. Well, that energy attached to that. And so I cleared it, and when I cleared it, the dowsing rods opened up. But I go within, and I say a prayer to clear the energy, for the energy to be taken away and sent to the light.
Yeah, I was just reading that people who, I'm not saying this is true, I'm just telling you what I read. It's from the book Tagos, which has to do with the people under, the Miriam living under Mount Shasta, and was saying that people who use drugs, it's not so much the people, but when they start, maybe, smoking a little pot, they attract these entities, and the entities begin to feed on them. And I wondered, listening to you, if that was something you could do, like, in other words, besides people that are working, I guess, with people that are addicted, that you could probably clear them of these entities, because it seems as though, according to what I read, the entities are the ones that cause them to really become addicted to alcohol or drugs.
You know what? I'm not going to say it's not impossible. Anything is possible. And so I would do it for free. I would try to do it for free, just to see if I could clear that energy out. Now, I would go in very protected and very prayed up before I did that, because I don't want that entity to attach to me. Right? Yes.
So
Roxanne.
you said that you can use these to find phone lines, electric lines, water, divine center. Is it decided when you set your intention, or do you just find them all along the way?
Well, it started out when I was first locating telephone lines. I had a print that showed me where they were, so I kind of had an idea of the vicinity, and I knew what I was looking for, and when I dug, they were there. So as I've become more spiritual in the spiritual environment, I've learned that to go to divine center within myself, which is not in my head, right? Where's divine center? In your heart. So I go into divine center in my heart and open my heart up and set the intention that way.
But you would set the intention, I need to find the electrical wiring. Or,
Yes. Whatever it is.
because I have this vision of the guy on the beach, you know, with the metal detector, and he'll dig 2 feet for a piece of tinfoil, you know. So it's all a matter of how you set your intention, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And I've heard people using these on the beach and not using that $300 piece of equipment, using dowsing rods. Because there was a lady in Winter Park that was building a big $1 million home, and she had me come and douse her land before she built the house, and then had me come back and douse the house after they built the house. A couple of really cool things about the house. The land, I found I just asked Spirit to show me, to show the dowsing rods what was there. It didn't matter what it was, just show me if there was something there. And we had a guy that dug down and found an abandoned pipe that needed to be removed before they built the house. So that was really cool. And then there was, she built the house, and the house was great. It was a beautiful home. And there was some paint cans in the garage. And so I doused the paint cans, and rods crossed. And I said, what's the story with the paint? She goes, I got into an argument with the painter, and I fired him. And I went, okay, you need to get rid of these paint cans because they're holding negative energy. And so that was pretty powerful to me, too. You know, it's always a validation when something like that, when you find something, and then you hear the story behind it. There is energy attached to everything. Everything. So what I'm going to suggest to you guys is always put out good energy. When you sit in these chairs or sit in the pews over in the sanctuary, sit there with a positive intention. A positive intention, and release the negativity to Spirit. And that way you're leaving your mark. There is a saying, leave your mark, right? That's leaving your positive mark in that space.
Cool.
Yes, sir.
Have you encountered situations in which you were not able to clear an item or a place?
Never. Yeah, I'm not going to say never. I'm going to say,
No.
yes, I am going to say never. It hasn't happened yet. So, but you've got to set the intention. If I go in with negative energy, I mean, I really have to pray myself up before I do this. Because I want to make sure that my intentions aren't filtered with something that's going on in my life. Because I have a brain too. I mean, that monkey chatter goes just like everybody else's, and I have to shut it down. So I don't want to bring negative energy into that environment. I want to be a positive channel for Source, and let Source work through me with the rods. Ooh, yes.
So back a few years ago, I was living in Vermont, that's where I'm from, and I went out to, it was winter, we had this huge snowstorm, and I went out to brush off my car, and we probably got like 2 feet of snow, and I had this gold bracelet on, and when I got back in the house, I noticed my gold bracelet was gone. I was like, oh my God, and I was like, you know, kind of in a panicky state. And I went back out there, I had hunted and hunted. My intuition inside told me in the area that it was, and so I just, you know, got on my hands and knees and tried to, you know, move the snow and tried to find it. I couldn't. And then I was taught how to do divining too, so I got out my divining rods and I went out there pointing to the same direction that intuitively I went to. But I didn't trust myself, okay? I thought, okay, maybe I'm controlling these rods because I'm wanting to know that it's there. So I called on a friend of mine who had been in it for quite a few years, and I said, can you please come down? And by then a lot of the snow had melted. And so he came down, and I just said, this is where my car was parked, and I brushed off my car with snow, and my bracelet is gone. And he went right to the same area. We did not find the bracelet, but we found the area, and what we think is that either somebody found it and picked it up, or in the midst of the snow plowing, that it got buried or taken off or from the snowplow or whatever. But so it does work to find lost objects.
Yeah, and you have to trust. You have to trust means to to rely upon the Spirit totally.
Yeah, trust, yeah.
So, yes,
Thank you.
Robert, good to see you, man.
Do the name Skin and Bones mean anything to you?
Skin and bones.
No, they happen to have been two of your students. One was a great tall, skinny guy, and the other one was a shorter and bald head. And just so happens, they were working on my garage apartment, installing the best that AT&T has to offer in communications. And in addition to lending the guy some of my T25 Brownback staples, because he didn't have any, he was trying to get a piece of coaxial cable through a wall and from outside to inside, and having absolutely no luck at all. So I was watching him, and I went and got one of my small inventory of straightened wire coat hangers, and bent it up and made a tool out of it, to which we fastened the cable that he couldn't get through the wall. Passed the coat hanger through the holes, and he was saved by the coat hanger.
Coat hangers have versatile, many uses. Sweet.
And I believe in the agricultural background of our country, they talked about fixing things with baling wire. Never met baling wire, but I consider the coat hanger, the wire coat hanger, as opposed to the damn plastic things,
That right.
is
That's right.
the spiritual heir to baling wire.
Sweet. Thank you, Robert. Yes,
I had
ma'am.
a question about the Mount Dora story that you told.
Yes.
How did you know that was negative energy? Because it went
They
like
cross.
that?
Yeah, when they cross, it's negative energy. When they open up there, it's positive energy.
Okay, so and then you just pray over it, right?
Well, I go inward
Right.
and say a prayer, yes.
So why was she stalking you? Because she wanted you to continue to do it?
She was so amazed that worked.
Okay.
I mean, she was in awe.
That's what I figured.
You
Yeah,
saved
she
your
was
son.
in awe. And it was a very overwhelming thing for me.
Yeah, because it was like your first.
Yeah, like, oh.
Right.
You know?
So she just wanted you to continue to do it for her, help her. And her
She
friends.
wanted me to be her new best friend.
Oh, okay. Because she helped you. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, and it was okay. It was after
Yeah.
a period of time, she calmed down a little bit, and I befriended her. But yeah, it was, and her son's
Okay.
whole and
It's because
healthy.
of the way the things go. Yeah.
Yeah, clearing that energy, that negative energy, is powerful. Very powerful stuff. Right? Yes.
How do you douse your home? Do you go from room to room, or are you outside walking around the house?
I go inside the house. I walk up and down and back and forth, and it picks up. It can pick up negative energy just in the corner somewhere. I mean, it's just energy, whatever that residual energy is. It's there. Just when they cross, I know that there's a negative energy there, and I say a prayer and send it to the light. Let Source take care of it. It's not my job. Yes.
I just moved into a 40-year-old house,
Uh-huh.
and when I wake up in the morning, almost every morning, the furniture is not exactly where I left it.
Okay.
And so, I'm like,
You gotta quit sleepwalking.
I know. And I also have 2 cats and 2 dogs, so I look at them and say, okay, are you responsible? And so far, no one has claimed responsibility. So I'm wondering if there's any other entities in my house. So from what you're saying, I can identify if it's a positive or negative energy.
Yes.
But if it's a negative energy, how would I get rid of it?
You say a prayer.
Just
And
say a prayer.
yeah, say a prayer and ask Source to take it. Ask God to take it.
And then recheck?
Yeah, that's what I do, is I recheck. And then when I recheck, they go, so it's really cool how it works. Yes, ma'am.
But like you've said several times, I just want to make sure that it's heard again. you need to protect yourself first before you do anything about any energy.
So pray first. Pray
You
first
need
and ask
to
for
envision
protection.
yourself being wrapped in light, or
Safe.
you know, say an affirmation about
I say I'm grounded
yeah.
and I'm protected by divine source, divine energy.
And I know you said you would talk about the pendulum later, but can you also do the same identification with the pendulum?
With the pendulum, it's a little bit more difficult. The pendulums are very
Bless you.
God bless you. That's right.
Dowser, right now.
Do it with my fingers. I can douse you.
This is all
Oh. Man, I should have stayed that for the last 2 months. The pendulum is more yes or no. And when after I doused that path for that lady and her son, I got down on my hands and knees. I had painter's tape, and I held the dowsing, the pendulum over what I had already found, and asked, "Is this geopathic stress?" I would ask for a yes or a no. Is this, first you ask for a yes. We did Dorothy's class a couple of weeks ago. Okay. All right, so I asked for a yes. Show me a yes, and then it would show me a yes, which is usually clockwise, depending on you or your energy. And then I asked to show me a no, and then when it shows me it goes around in a circle, then I know that's the answer. Now with I only use these if I've got a specific area and I've marked it out with tape. If that makes sense. Yes.
Are you going to demonstrate that for us?
This?
It doesn't have to be in an area, but show us how to use them.
Okay, so what I do, I use my body because our energy goes out how far? Okay. Some people use the palm of their hand. Some people use the top of the back of their hand, and they'll say, "Show me a yes." Okay, and see it's going clockwise, right? And then I'll say, "Show me a no." Goes the other way. Show me a maybe, and it goes back and forth. Okay, so I would ask it a question. All right, a yes or no question. Am I going to eat dinner tonight?
Maybe.
Well, it's going yes. So. Yeah, I get to eat tonight. Okay. I mean, that's just a little demonstration of how it works. When I really want to know an answer, I use my whole body. I'll lay on the bed and prop up and use my stomach area. My center chakras.
How do you do that?
Yes. Yeah, do it with a pendulum. Because the energy radiates out from you. Yeah, you can use the palm of your hand. Like if you're out here and you don't want anybody to know what you're doing, you can use it. Or you can use your body. It doesn't matter. It's picking up your energy.
Is the pendulum made of something special?
These are stones. You can get these at Avalon or. Do we have them in the bookstore?
I think so.
Okay.
We do?
Yeah, I bought these at Avalon. So I have two. I've got a rose quartz, and I don't remember what this stone is. But I can walk in when I go to Avalon. I walk in where the pendulums are, and they go crazy. The pendulums go crazy. So it's about energy. Everything is energy.
And you can use anything for a pendulum. You can use your keys, Dorothy taught us. You can use your keys, a necklace, something that you've worn for a long time that's kind of like picked up your energy. She made us pendulums out of sinkers.
Yeah, she said. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Do you ever use your body? ask.
Kinesiology, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
I use it all the time, actually.
But there's many different options in tools that you have that are available to you that are cheap. You can make your own pendulum like Dorothy did, or you can make your own coat hangers or dowsing rods like you're going to get to here in a few minutes. And I'm going to help you with that. I don't want anybody to get hurt. Yes, sir.
Do you have any sort of special ritual associated with storing the tools or anything like that, prepping them before? No?
What about re-energizing?
Nope. I keep them, the dowsing rods that I bought in Casadega comes with a pouch, and I keep them in the pouch, but the coat hangers, I took coat hangers out of my closet. I was halfway here and I thought, man, I should bring coat hangers and let them make their own. So I brought coat hangers just for you guys to make your own dowsing rods. So, and what you're going to do is, I've got some hand tools here. All you're going to do is break the, just bend them, undo them, and straighten them as much as you can. The ones that are solid hangers, you're just going to untwist the ends. If we need to cut them, we'll make them a little bit straighter. They don't have to be perfectly straight, but they'll work. And all you do is
You have to be
just
really strong.
hold them in between your fingers like this and cup them, and they move. They'll move on their own. Okay. All right, I'm going to come around and help you guys with the tools.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
Be still, there is a healing. His love is deeper than the sea. His mercy, it is unfailing. His arms are a fortress for the weak. Let faith arise. Let faith arise. I lift my hands to believe again. You are my refuge, you are my strength. As I pour out my heart, these things I remember. You are faithful, kind, forever. Be still, there is a river that flows from a tree, a fountain for the thirsty, pure grace that washes over me. So let faith arise. Let faith arise. Open my eyes. Open my eyes. I lift my hands to believe again. You are my refuge. You are my strength. As I pour out my are my refuge, you are my strength. As I pour out my heart, I believe, I remember, you are faithful, God, forever. Lift my hands to believe again. You are my refuge, you are my strength. As I pour out my heart, these things I remember. You are faithful, God. You are faithful, God, forever.
Now, I've invited Deb back up to lead us in a meditation. So everybody get comfortable in their seats.
Test 1, 2, 3.
Let me get some meditation music going for you.
So if everybody will shut their eyes, close their eyes. Get comfortable in your chair. Taking a really deep breath. Breathing in God's divine energy. Exhaling any negative energy that you're holding on to from the events of this week. Take another deep breath. And release. Allowing that energy to flow from your head to your heart. Every breath you take, you're breathing in God's divine energy. God's loving, peaceful energy. Allowing this energy to flow to every cell in your body. as we take another breath. And hear the rain. We embrace this loving divine energy, knowing that it is always there. We can always go to this peaceful place. And we say, thank you, God, thank you, God, thank you, God. And so it is.
Amen.
Namaste.
Namaste. Nice. That was beautiful. Thank you. Let's give Deb another round of applause. Can you share with them that was the first time you've ever done a meditation?
Yes.
Okay, this is the first time she's ever done a
The
meditation.
buzzer was very
She did a great job.